Some breaking good news here on the Alabama Football Report. The first transfer portal player coming into the Crimson Tide, defensive lineman LT Overton, has committed to the Tide over interest from plenty of other programs, but he was clearly interested the most in the Crimson Tide. We have early National Signing Day coming tomorrow for you guys. There will be even more portal and recruiting buzz the next month-ish. And, of course, the College Football Playoff semifinal. It's a great time to be a Bama fan. It's a great time to subscribe to the Alabama Football Report as well. Get more free videos all throughout the weeks and months to come right here on the channel for free. Hit that sub button right now. So LT Overton coming to the Tide, not as hyped or as targeted as, maybe Walter Nolan. Also probably isn't demanding or commanding the same level of NIL guarantees and makes it a more logical fit for the Tide. He was still one of the top defensive linemen in the portal. Depending on which platform you're using, 24/7, Rivals, On3, either number 2 or number 3 behind Nolan. Some had him behind, I think it's Joey Slackman, who I think went to Florida, if my memory serves me correctly here. But Overton's a former 5-star recruit in the class of 2022. There are some questions, uncertainty about where exactly he plays, if he plays defensive line or edge rusher for Alabama. He did not live up to the hype that came along with being a top 20 recruit in the class of 2022. Just 3 tackles for loss and the 1 sack for the Crimson Tide. He was not as impactful, or for A&M, excuse me. Although I tend to believe that, that's probably a fault of Jimbo Fisher and company, not maximizing all that talent that they paid for, that they got into the program, and never really materialized in the way that they wanted to. Maybe he would have had more success with more, stabilizing the Mike Elko presence, but I think that was an A&M issue, not a talent issue. Here's what Overton said on his decision to commit to Alabama, or transfer to Alabama, I should say. It was really just the relationship I've built with them, being there for so long. Then me just going there, talking with Coach Freddie Roach, building connections with the players, and just getting a better feel of it. He was excited, too excited, Coach Roach said. He was excited, said it made his day. I wonder if the plan for Alabama is to put Overton in that kind of Justin Aboijbe role, where he's kind of that, I call it over 5 technique-ish, just some edge, outside linebacker hybrid stuff. When they're in a base 4, he could probably play defensive end. When they're in that base 5-man front, he can just play the 3-4 defensive end role. Because you're going to lose Aboijbe, you'll lose Smith, so there is some depth that can be replaced there, plus possibility of always more transfers as well. You all also going to look for some more edge help. And maybe you could have some help here from Overton with Bama in the market for other transfer edges too. Dallas Turner is going to go to the NFL. Chris Braswell will be gone as well. So how hyped are you about getting LT Overton in the transfer portal for the Tide? It's today's pinned comment. So scale it from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. If the ad comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. There's another player coming to the Tide as well. This one broke Monday evening. Shout out producer Chris for doing the short on it. Alabama has landed 4-star 2024 edge rusher Jayshawn Ross on Monday evening. He is the number 326 overall player in the 24/7 Sports Composite rankings. He is the number 21 ranked edge rusher, and he's the number 6 player, by the way, from the state of Missouri. There had been some buzz that Kansas State was going to be the one that ends up landing Ross, which would be a significant get for them. 326 is good for Alabama, but it's not going to be him on the top 10 players, I don't believe, in this class. Not even the top 15. I got to double check that. Nebraska, who, of course, made the big flip for Dylan Raiola the other day. They were in the mix for him. Oklahoma, Tennessee as well. But Bama seemed to make a late push here to land Ross. So grade Alabama's 2024 recruiting class so far. A, B, C, D, or F in the comments section. Maybe it's only a B because they're not number 1 and the standards are so high for the Crimson Tide. But sound off either way in the comments section. Here's what Jayshawn Ross said on his commitment to Alabama. I want that Bama factor. No doubt they got ball players, but where I'm from, I'm known for it too. So Lank for sure. I like this guy. And the coach made the trip to me in some weather in Tuscaloosa is not used to, so I owed him one. Here's what Charles Power, the on-through recruiting expert, said on Ross. He primarily played as a stand-up edge rusher to this point. I think he fits what Bama likes at outside linebacker. He's the guy who is very comfortable playing in a two-point stance. I think he's athletic enough to drop into coverage if he has to. He can pin his ears back and get after the passer. He has outstanding play speed. He's a guy who can run for days. He can track down ball carriers. He's a pretty good stand-up mover as well. I think he's got a lot of room to develop as a pass rusher, technically. Now, today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. This is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers. You're not battling thousands of other players. There's no pros, there's no sharks, etc. It's just you against the numbers. You pick 2 to 6 player stat projections, watch your winnings roll in, and in theory come out on top. You can do NFL games. I've done them all season long. I got a little college football playoff semifinal Prize Picks slate here. Give me more than Jalen Milroe passing yards and more than Jalen Milroe rushing yards. Bama's going to win. It's going to be done on the arms and legs of Milroe, who is going to be among your Heisman contenders next year. And I do think Roman Wilson's a damn good football player. I think he gets one chunk play against Alabama. Give me the more than 39.5 receiving yards on that front. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Links in the comments and the description. Make sure to check them out. They are offering their 12 days of Picksmas as well, which you can get some fun goodies on that front, some boosted picks, we'll call it. prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for that first deposit match up to $100. Very intriguing recruiting development last night as well. This is Jaden Bog, who goes by at one vibes, on X, which used to be Twitter. After lots of prayer and talks with my circle, I decided to decommit from the University of Arkansas. I'd like to thank Coach Pittman and Coach Jimmy and all of Arkansas for believing in me and for the opportunity. This is noteworthy because the decommit comes right after Bog takes a visit to Alabama this past weekend, one of several he's taken with the Crimson Tide. He is a 4-star recruit in the class of 2024, technically listed as an athlete on the composite rankings. I would like to point out that he's probably going to be a running back, so you'll hear some overlap of the terminology there. 385 overall, number 44 from the state of Georgia. Bama has visited with him 5 different times this month. The running backs coach, Robert Gillespie, had 3 in-home visits. Saban had an in-home visit, and he took an official visit as well. Now, he will sign, at least the plan is, knowing sometimes these things have a tendency to change, his national letter of intent on Wednesday. The timing here is certainly very interesting. We know how much Alabama has been trying to find another running back recruit in this cycle. The decommitment timing certainly gives some credence to Alabama. Other teams in the mix here, make no mistake, Tennessee, South Carolina, also a finalist for Daniel Hill, who Bama's been after. But the timing at least makes it worth mentioning for the Crimson Tide. So name a running back target you would like to get. Bama's going to get at least somebody. It's a matter of the timing and everything from that perspective, if not 2 somebodies. Sound off in the comment section right now. Running back target you would like to land. There are a couple of at-large targets here for the Crimson Tide as well. 4-star running back Kevin Riley has shown some buzz and interest there in Alabama. That'd be a huge flip for them. Miami also added another running back, Jordan Lyle, which adds some credence to the flip theory there. Eddrick Houston, the OSU interest there is kind of collapsing a bit there. I don't know if there's any correlation between the arrival of LT Overton there. There's some overlap position-wise there. Had the surprise Bama visit on Saturday. He's set to announce on Wednesday. Steve M. will announce on Wednesday as well. I'll get the pronunciation if he does commit to Alabama. Aeryn Hampton has been someone that Bama has tried to flip. The athlete, receiver, some buzz. You could try corner as well. I think that might be the least likely flip or landing on that list just because I kind of feel Riley's going to commit to Bama. Who knows? It's all vibes when it comes to recruiting. We'll keep you guys covered this week. Make sure you are subscribed.